Esports here has a bad lineup. It's just that there's a lack of frontliner that if they don't snowball, and if Team CHIK snowball, there's no damage absorbed on their side. There's no shock absorber on their side. So they really have to play this well. If they don't, it's gonna cost them a lot.
That's true. So we'll have to wait and see as we load up into the game. Team CHIK versus IPHIOS Esports Game 1. It's going to be a very exciting early game. Will we see a lot of steals happening here? Apparently, first blood is going to be it. No buffs. No buff steals. We want to go and take the fight right away. That is what IPHIOS Esports is doing right now. Oh, and the observer doesn't know where to look. Everyone's fighting everywhere. This is so funny to watch. And in the end, it's a 2-1 in favor of IPHIOS Esports. Despite that, we are still not done. The buff looks like it's going to be reset. That is a lot of time being bought here. By IPHIOS as well on their side. Gets a little bit of gold lead. And how important is that buff take?
Well, who got it in a way? I didn't really see. Who got it? Who got the red? Who got the purple?
Them also. I think they died right away after they got it. That's why we can't find it right now.
So that's big, especially if Cax was the one who died. I think Cax was the one who died, right?
That's right. I think so. So.
No. Cax didn't die. Cax didn't die. It probably went to, let's say, the Grok or a Pabu.
Yeah, the power of nature.
I think it's probably. Oh no. Cax still has it. Cax still has the blue. Okay.
Okay. He got it from the retribution.
Yes. He got it from the retribution to lives. Because I wanted to make sure that they got the buff. Just because it's going to be hard for a Harriet to come back from this certain point if he didn't get the purple buff at level 1.
Yeah. And they wouldn't walk as confidently as he is right now if he didn't get that buff, right?
Yes.
But for the bottom lane, it's going to be a big problem for Pablo. Gets stepped on a trap there. And 3 people from IPHIOS Esports claiming him for their own. Oh, the regen might have kicked in, but apparently he's only level 3. That's just going to be an answer to kill on the bottom lane. And the rest of Team CHIK.
Cax gets blocked off by the Guardian's barrier and CHIK, they're doing something, but they're not really favoring their teammates. Like, they're blocking off each other. Someone getting picked up into the middle lane. IPHIOS Esports here, just making the most out of every single mistake that Team CHIK is doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, every single turn. Like, look at that. They're even forcing flickers out of the Selena near the tower. And they are using up so much resources, even their frontliners, their Jawhead, their Grok, are having a hard time staying in the lane.
And look at this. Even their off-lane is helping the Harriet get the blue. Now, I like the prioritization for the blue of the Harriet because they know that Cax will be the one who's going to carry them into the early to mid-game transition phase. But the thing is, you're rendering the other lanes useless.
Yeah.
If you're doing this.
Exactly. So what are you actually achieving when you're holding them like that? Oh my gosh. Hot dog. Out of nowhere, I think he was so surprised about that. He didn't know where to go in that regard. And IPHIOS Esports, they're like a shark in water, my friend. They are hunting everyone down.
Yeah. Right now, Team CHIK, they are being reactive to everything that IPHIOS Esports is doing, and that's the only thing that's saving them from losing this game entirely. Now, IPHIOS Esports, as long as they keep this pressure, and Team CHIK is just reacting to everything that they're doing, then they're probably gonna win anytime.
Yep.
And that's how ML goes. Like, we're not being biased, we're just saying what we're saying, but Team CHIK here, they're not really playing to win. They are playing not to lose. There is a big difference between playing to win than playing not to lose.
Yeah, it's like they're just hoping that they want to stay alive, right? And let the game go to 20 minutes it's not always a viable option, especially in the highest caliber players here in the MPL. You can't just hope that you won't die, because they will find ways to kill you just like that.
While EPHIOES Esports Team CHIK, they are just going at it. You know, the thing is, EPHIOES Esports and Team CHIK, this is a very action-packed game. Even if you say that Team CHIK is at a 5 kill disadvantage, they're just going at it, and they're just trying to fight.
Yeah.
They're just trying to fight EPHIOES Esports head on, and I like the bravado. But
This.
I think that you have to put your your pride at some point at some point that you can win into the early game. But right now, as long as you're not really turning this kills into objectives, I don't really think that you're doing it right.
Okay.
If you see sports, they might have they might have lost a bit of 2 people on the jungle, but still, you have to realize that the turtle is on their side. The turrets are on their side.
Yeah, I think they kind
Objective
of
is the name of the game.
they kind of heard you, and then the fans just went for the turtle. But now he already gave it away. Wow, Team CHIK, they answered really quickly. But of course, because of everything that EPHIOES Esports is doing, they are ahead in the economy by 4,000 gold. Let's have a look at the Gillette Instant Replay and see how they played that around the jungle area. I think they kind of held steady here because of their positioning. They were secured next to a very tight corridor, and they just danced and kited Mimao for the rest of that replay. So they got ahead because of that, and the FAMAS was getting the turtle as that was happening.
Lot of things going the way of Team CHIK. EPHIOES Esports, they are trying to hold on to this lead, but yeah, the Selena, the Harith, they're doing well. Yisun Shin here almost with that Blade of Despair. EPHIOES Esports, on the other hand, still looking really good. Emphasis on that Hayabusa. Deadly Blade for the Masha. Clock of Destiny for the Farsa. They're just taking their time scaling into this game. They're not really in a rush to end this game fast, because they know that in terms of scaling, they can take on a Yisun Shin and a Harith.
Yeah,
The Harith, they might have a bit of a problem, but the damage output for EPHIOES Esports, it's enough to take down, or it's enough to burst down a Harith.
that's right. So
Don't
they
be hard.
oh, look at that. Yeah. And they're also waiting for Scent on the Yisan Shin to scale up. That's what they're doing non-stop today, right? Remember, it doesn't always work, but there was like very few times that it worked. Remember, there was like a game in the finals where Bren was like just saying, Carl Theory, just hold on, just hold on. Remember that? That was those are very rare moments where you can just turtle and then just win the late game. But it's not always the best strategy. I think that's what Butters is trying to say.
Yeah. It's not the best strategy to just wait, but sometimes it's all you can do. The other team has the certain advantage. I'm not saying that the advantage right now for the side of EPHIOES Esports is really high. It's like what, 6k gold? That's not big.
And like you said, that Jawhead can really take out Hayabusa if he uses up his shadows, and that's, I think, what's happened there as well. Unstoppable force into Jawhead, into the Hayabusa. You can go to any shadow you want. You're not gonna get away from that one.
And wow, Team CHIK, they're doing their best. You gotta commend them for this.
Yeah.
EPHIOES Esports, Lotus, Pabu getting caught out, and that's not really the best position in the world to be at this point of the game. 11 minutes in, you know that you don't have control over your map, you stay there and you're asking to go down. Jester here trying to go for the gorgeous barrier. And look at that. Team Chick with the steal. And this might be the punish. Team Chick, this might be the comeback that they're looking for.
So this is the punishment that they get for not like completely like cleaning it up in the team fights. They lose some members. That's why they're a bit down on the Lord take. And Team Chick, great timing by the way, getting everything that they wanted in that plus more, just because of knowing when to go in. So now Team Chick has the backup of that Lord walking on the bot lane. I wonder what EPHIOS Esports is gonna do about this, because I think Team Chick is slowly matching up in terms of firepower against EPHIOS.
But Team Chick, that was a well-timed power of nature coming out from Jester. You have to give it up to the guy. He literally saved his team from losing, and now he just gave the lead. And EPHIOS Esports, they're being pushed. How will they answer? They don't know the pressure that Team Chick can bring to their table. But right now, they are getting the full force of it. EPHIOS Esports, can they answer? That is the question, Rockhard. How do you think EPHIOS Esports should handle this pressure?
Man, I think they should start splitting up and making use of this Hayabusa on the back foot, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Of course, there will be Babu helping out in catching some of that damage. That Hayabusa not gonna be lost in this world right now. Oh my god, what's happening to EPHIOS? They're slowly fading into the fight, but looks like just through sheer determination and sheer will down, poke damage, they're able to repel Team Chick this time around, and they even keep all of their inhibitor turrets. That is a pretty good play.
Oh my goodness, what a player! He knows when to fight. He knows how to get in position. You really have to give it up for this season, Shin. Now, the thing is, Masha isn't really doing that well.
Exactly.
If you're seeing the Masha right now, Mimao, he's not really, he can't put pressure. I'm not saying that he's not doing well as a player. It's just that his hero needs to split push as much as possible, go for the duels as much as possible. But then again, going in front of 2 people, that's not really the best case for Masha.
That's true.
You should be patient, you should find the right moment to strike, and when you do, nobody can beat you at that. As long as you know your role here for the side of EPHIOS Esports, this is probably going to be a bearable pressure coming out from Team Chick. But right now, EPHIOS Esports, they lost their bus to actually, just take the game away from Team Chick. But there is a Lord in a minute. So EPHIOS Esports, that might be their next target here to just end the game.
Yeah, 1 minute to the Lord, that could be what they need. I think the problem with EPHIOS Esports is they have 2 split pushers, Hayabusa and Masha. The sign of a good off-laner split pusher like Masha or Hayabusa is if they can push off top or bottom. We haven't seen that in a long time now. And that's probably the reason why they're trying to avoid the team fights. That's why the team fights are not clean. Because they are split pushers. You cannot expect them to go straight into a fight and succeed. They usually need to make a turnaround, right? They need to attack from behind to be effective. But there's no one in front, right? It's only fams.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about earlier. The lack of tanks means that Team Chick will just head in. They will not care about your tankiness. They will just care about your damage output. They will care about not getting bursted. But aside from that, they don't really have to worry about anything else.
That's true. Again, all we can find here all that we can find here for EPHIOES is that they have good damage output. But other than that, their setup, their crowd control, it's super limited, my friend. So I'm looking for a way that EPHIOS Esports can initiate well into a team fight. Because all the initiating is on the side of Team CHIK. Celine Arrow, Grok Wall, and maybe this Jawhead.
Mm-hmm. You have to give it up to Cax as well. He didn't really have the best of games. Like a lot of his buffs were contested in a way, but through sheer perseverance, he got to this point, and with a positive scoreline as well, 3-7. That's not bad. I mean, you would see Harith players get more points or get more scores on their scoreline, on their kill attribute, at 10, 11, 12 at this point of the game. But right now, he just went in and saved his team. He didn't have the best early game, but he's here.
Yep.
He's doing it.
Absolutely. They are doing it very, very well. I mean, it's not super clean yet, like we mentioned earlier, but right now they are taking fights right. They are juggling the damage output very well. And now they are the ones who are on the hunt here. They want to go for it. Right now, though, this Hayabusa is still proving to be a pain in the butt, despite, not being able to do the assassinations very effectively. Now they can take the Lord without contest, and the Lord will go over to Team CHIK because of that, and not to mention a kill. Actually make that too. Mao actually went down earlier in that fight. So who's left to defend here?
Everyone except Mimao.
That's right.
Everyone except
Lotus.
Mimao.
Yeah.
Mimao. 3 Mar, RTZ, Aji. Aji didn't have the retribution at that point. He was just trying to go to the front line, just throw a shuriken, throw 3 shurikens at it, then probably just go back. That's the only way he's gonna go for the steam.
Yep.
Now, Team CHIK, with this, just because they had a tank, which is 076, they have a soak, they have a shock absorber in terms of damage. They're winning this game.
Yep. Just slowly but surely.
They're winning the game with the idea that they have a tank. Now, if this scored, they might have shot themselves in the foot right here. That if they just went for a tank,
like instead of Hayabusa, maybe get an Atlas or what's a good one?
Kufra.
Yeah, Kufra wasn't bad.
Even a Hylos wouldn't be bad. Like with the pacing of the game that happened later, any tank would suffice.
Yep, that's even gonna help out the Harif even more and the Yi Sun Shin to reposition properly to take the team fights in their favor. So now EPHIOES Esports, they're trying to see if they can make the pickoffs. They're sending out Koopa, not to be able to take down Jester, but the rest of the team will have the power of Scent to back up the damage output.
This Mimao. I thought it was going to be another Pabu pickoff.
Pabu's on the hunt. He's hunting people now, my friend, and looks like we're about to see another pretty long game here. EPHIOES, they had a pretty good lead already, but what happened? How did they drop the ball so hard? Did they actually just stop hunting down and let themselves be hunted like right now? Cax and Hotdog trying to get into Freemar. I pronounced that right? Freemar. Yes, there you go. So now they are on the hunt, and I don't know, I feel like Team CHIK is slowly getting whittled down while they're doing it, but they're able to get just in the nick of time. There you go. Beautiful.
And I think they're set in stone. I think Team CHIK just won from
here
on out. They just won from here on out. Because said, look at this, you can deal as much damage as possible, and when the marksman can just go in to your base without getting punished like this.
Yeah, he's standing there.
He's just standing there, no punish.
Yeah, so
this is 100% on the side of Team CHIK. They will win game number 1.
All right, so what did we learn today? It's very difficult to win out a pure team fight composition with 2 split pushers and no tank. Team CHIK, congratulations, 1-0 against EPHIOES Esports. There was one 2 times, I think, yesterday where we saw